Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chrissy from Solstice ATR. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord. We use adaptive algorithm for trading. We're not a broker dealer. Past performance doesn't indicate our future results. If you need any assistance or advice on getting help how to read technicals, we'd be more than happy to help you. Here we go. Let's first start by taking a look at last week's slide. And I said there was a lot of earnings on the calendar from Apple to Microsoft, Twitter, Amazon, Meta, but I posted some of them and I said, well, the deadline for Twitter takeover was on the 28th. And does the Fed slow down and pivot from here? So this slide kind of showed you an idea that we may have a possibility of continuation. We had a little bit of turbulence between, the Monday and Wednesday time, and Thursday and eventually on Friday, we basically got a nice run up. Let's go to the next slide. That was dated October 23rd, 2022. Let's go to the next slide. Here I'm talking about, has the stock market ended the week on a positive note, on a momentum? Yes, it has. What I did, I put the RUT, which is the IWM. This is the Russell 2000, or you can use the RTY, which is the future E-mini contract, or the micro, which is /M2K. On Thinkorswim platform, CQG, CME, discount brokers, TradingView, they have different symbols. Make sure you pay attention to it. Has the economy data and inflation in front of what's steady, because the returns were very steady. The 11 sectors in the S&P did very well. Apple kind of was the catalyst on the earning report, rallied 7.64 the day. While on the other hand, Amazon and Meta, Amazon got a little bit its butt kicked, which is the big distribution company, and Meta got its butt kicked around. The weekly Russell earned a 6.9% return. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, I put DXY here, I should put DJY. This is an accident here. I will fix it in a slide. 5.7. SPX 3.9. That's the DXY is the dollar. It's supposed to be DJY here. The Nasdaq 2.2% for the week. If you need any assistance, please let us know. Once again, it takes time to put these slides up, and you can see I have an array right in front of you. Let's go to the last slide. If you like this video, hit the smash button. At the same time, you can subscribe for the weekly video for free. Let's go to the first slide. Here we go. I put the Nasdaq, S&P, and the Dow all together without the Russell. We can see from the last week's candle that the combination of those three instruments rallied and cleared the 18 SMA. We are still in a linear regression downtrend, but you can see the prior year before the rally in January, February, the highs of these two candles, we just sitting right on them. Does this mean we can consolidate here, or do we get to break back to the upside of the 116 SMA and the 50 SMA, or do we create some kind of a small cup here before continuation higher? Because this was a lower, this is a shoulder, this is a head. Does it do a shallow shoulder, or do we continue up to the backside of the 50 SMA and the 116 and that downtrend on the combination of the three? Let's put right now the micro 2K, and that is the Russell 2000 or the IWM. I'm going to take these two channels that I have on the charts. You can see I usually sometimes draw stuff around. We can see on the weekly candle, we had a nice run up. We came back to the downside breakdown of these three candles. We tested it so we can remove it. No longer valid. Remove the drawing. I just keep sometimes channels up. I have a retracement of a fib from the prior year annual low to the high. When we came back down, we retested the January, February area before the February 19th COVID-19 and the March 23rd low. This was the November 2nd of 2020, before the rally for the Christmas holiday. We had this green box. That means the advanced decline line got too extended, and the RSI, when it pushed, it printed that bar there, which is that box. That means usually on the long term, whenever they are revisited, they usually act as support. And we can see we are right now sitting right on the candle of the November 30th high and low. We didn't test the high of it, but we are sitting right at the open of it. Does this mean we're going to retest the December and the January low? We have to pay attention. If we want to take a channel and calculate the Fibonacci on a regular channel from the 2-year high and low, I can take this candle at the low for the 2-year high for the candles, and you can see we retested that 50 and bounced off nicely on that chart, but we are still in a downtrend. We can look at the IWM. You can see the IWM is in a similar situation. Cleared the 200 SMA, the 250, and the 18. Still got a long way to catch up to 89 EMA, 116, and the 50 SMA. Let's go now to the micro ES. And we can see that the micro ES, I have the prior consolidation here, the box, the January low, and the rally. This Fibonacci here is actually wrong. We can remove it because we had prior year a week from low to high, the extension. So the fib is from here to here for this coming week. But we can see we are still in that downtrend, testing the 18 SMA on the weekly. And we created that rounded bottom. We tested this area, couldn't hold it, fell through the 50 on the annual Fibonacci chart. We came back to the 100%, looked below, and trying to break out. Does this continue to come back to the 38.2, or do we create some kind of a shoulder? We have cleared, remember, the 3800, which was a very important number, 3805, which I really wanted because this was a consolidation of the prior 3 weeks and the rally up. Then we fell sharply, and now we have retested and cleared this candle. Does this mean we hold, or do we hold the 3827 in order to continue higher? Very important. We have tested on Friday. The high of the week was 3924.25 on the micro, which is around that Fibonacci, the 23.6, and usually those numbers act very nicely on the charts. Once again, the 23.6 is the 38.2, 3,923 and a quarter, and the high of this candle was 39.24 and a quarter by 1 point. So let's see what happens on Monday, which you can look at the SPY as well. There it is. Let's go to the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq 100. You can see that the QQQ is trying to make some ground back up. Remove the drawing. Does it continue or not? Did not test the 18 SMA. We are still in that consolidation of the prior year, which was August, September, October before the rally. And this was the January low of 2022. Let's take a look at the micro NQ. Remember, I'm using the long time frame to show you the overall sentiment. You can see that box here. We tested this area. We coming back to the 0 line, and we still have the 18 on the Nasdaq 100. Let's go now to the daily charts. And what I want to do is work our way on different instruments. We can still see we are still in a downtrend. Every time we look down, we bounced up to the prior channel high, fell back in. This time we fell into 2/3 of it, coming back up. We're still in that downtrend. Let's see what next week holds. Let's take a look at NYA, the New York Composite. We can see that the New York Composite is starting to make some grounds. Retesting on the daily, the 116 SMA has not tested the 61.8. Pay attention here in case it creates that little tiny shoulder, or does it continue back up to the 200 SMA? That's the New York Composite of the stock exchange. Let's go take a look at XLK, which is the tech sector. We can see that in the tech sector starting to get a little bit of life into it. XLV is a little bit much better. You can see it here. It is above all the moving averages on the daily, but has this consolidation here. This one, the breakdown, this is consolidation. It's retesting this area. Does it break through or not? Pay attention to the XLV. XLF, the financial. We can see that the financial finally, this is the first week we break the linear regression downtrend on that chart from the high to the low. Every time we retested it, couldn't make it. This time we broke up. Does it continue and clear the 50 fib to go to the 200 SMA and the 61.8 or the 38.2 fib on the top of the chart. Let's take a look at XLP, consumer products. We can see where we are. We're above the 61.8, but has not cleared actually the 200 SMA, but we are above the 18, the 50. This is the 18. This is the yellow 50, 89, and the 116 SMA. XLC. This is the communication. We can see this is the weakest out of all the sectors. I just wanted to show it to everyone and pay attention to that. Let's take a look at XLI, which is the other sector of the industrial. You can see where we are. We are on the 200 SMA. One more I will do. XLR I believe, which is the real estate. We can see it's starting to get some life into it. I got to take these out of here because when it broke down sharply, couldn't hold it, remove the drawing. This is the downtrend that we had from before. Remove drawing. We can create one from here. Oops, we're going to go get a Fibonacci or a channel instead of a fib. We can create one from here to here. This is the channel it needs to break. And from the top, here is the other side of the real estate. Come on. From here, come on. Doesn't want to work. Come on, there we go. And that's the other major channel from the top. We can actually duplicate it from here and draw another channel. Grab one more so you guys can see what I'm doing on the channel so you understand that there's a linear regression downtrend. You have a 50% right in the middle. Let's go now to CL, crude oil. We can see that CL, I do a lot of fibs, a lot of channels on it. We can do a micro CL, which can clear all this noise out. Let's do the micro CL instead. So I can clear all the noise out. We can look at, that's the Ukraine, Russia, and, the price of crude going very sharply high. This was the other reaction in the Eurozone. Then we fell down. They are actually digging into the reserve, which they should not be. They should open the pumps back up to create a better revenue out of this. We're going to take this out of here, remove the drawing. We're going to create another linear regression channel from here to here. You can see this is an uptrend on a linear regression uptrend. But if it does break out and get a clear top here, consolidate, it can see the backside because you are in a 2 linear regression downtrend, but at the same time you have an uptrend. It found support here. Does it continue back to the $96 for the barrel, or does it fall through and fall back to the backside of the 78, where most of the prices of gas should be, at least on the pump in California, less than $5. They are $5.40 to $5.85, $6 on the pump still. We need to figure this out and solve this problem because most electric cars, where they get their electricity from, is it from the grid? Of course they do, but where's the grid coming from? From oil. It's not out of solar power panels or windmills, okay? So let's take a look at GC. We can see GC as well here on the weekly chart that it's still in a consolidation area, hasn't found ground to take a breakout. You can take a look at the micro, which is GLD on the stock, GLD, which is the ETF, GLD. We can see that GLD hasn't found any ground whatsoever on the ETF or gold or silver right here. Let's take a look at one other sector, which I want to talk about, GBTC, which is the Bitcoin area. And you can see has been a lot of baselining. It eventually tried to break out. It's coming back into the 50. Does it find support at the 50 SMA and continue higher? Or you can look at the BTC, which is the major contract on the charts. We can see that BTC has found some ground this week and it's consolidating here, looking to see if it's going to break up or not. This is the weekly fib from high to low. You can see I've anchored it, and the weekly candle, activate the candle, activate the instrument, and there you go. You can see where the weekly high is and the weekly low. For this, if it clears this bar, we may see this oval and the extension to the top. If it falls, look for the support for the 25 and continuation to the upside in BTC. Let's go back to the E-mini contract. And what I want to do here, instead of using just a regular E-mini, I want to go for a 10-day, 15-day outlook here. We're going to go intraday. We can do 20 days, 4-hour chart. Oops, that's 20 minutes. 4 hours, push OK. We can see in this consolidation, the overnight is the gray. This week's range was from here to here's high. We have the low here for the week. We have the high for the week. We have the 50% and the 25. If I can uncheck the overnight action by not highlighting it, I can say highlight or unhighlight. It'll give us a darker screen, which we can see the levels. This is the low. This is the high once again. This is the 50%. I don't want to see basically ES coming back below the 38.25 area, 38.03, because it'll be a problem. If it's going to continue, I'd like to see, I'm going to show you where I'm looking for in the 39, the 39, 92, 96 area, and as well as the 40.55 area in S&P 500 for the coming weeks, because this is the monthly measured move, that gray area. We can look at it on the micro so everyone can see it, micro ES. And in the micro ES, if I go down here on a daily chart, what I want to make sure people understand, this is the downtrend. We are coming to that small linear regression downtrend, which you have one from here. You can add another one. Come on, click. We can add one like this where the breakdown was. You can see we are still in an open downtrend, but we're starting to form an uptrend in here. And what I'm looking for is the support on this chart to continue to the upside and break out of this linear regression uptrend and retest this area here and this area here before we can find some kind of a shoulder before continuation to the upside and clearing that backside of this channel. I hope this was helpful. You enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let us know. I want to keep it short. I don't want to put too much equities, too much ETFs, or too much futures, but I wanted to give an overall review about the market. Take care. Over and out.